Hey guys, we're here with our Black Queen, Robert Decoste here. Robert, say hey.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, so how'd you do today?
I did all right. I went X2 in our tournament, finishing 11th. It was the highest X2 in the bracket, so just kind of missing that bubble. If we had another round, maybe we could have gotten there. But.
Right, and Legends have to mess that up for you, huh?
No, it's okay. He's always, no, I'm just kidding. Love you, Mike. It's all good. I want him to be successful just as much as I want myself. So.
Right, and that's a great mentality to have, man. So how did your matches go? What were your matchups per round?
Yeah, so I brought my parents with me. The first round against Aaron Rodriguez, and I apologize for anyone if I forgot. I want to say the first round was against Gogeta. A pretty favorable matchup for me.
Right.
Second round was against, I think it was the Mirror, actually. The Mirror, second round. Third round, Austin. What did Austin play? I feel like I played nothing but the same decks all day. What did Austin play? Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm drawing a blank on it. It'll come back to me. Right. Fourth round was against Mike Carrick, who was playing Tapion, and that was an unfortunate loss for me. Although I think maybe I could have just played it better. We tried it in testing and I was successful, and then in the tournament it just didn't work out. It happens. It's part of the game. Round 5 was against Jacob White, and Jacob was super awesome, but man, oh man, that was. It was right after a deck check and no amount of shuffling. Opening hand was 3 out of 6 black cards. I was just like, okay, I guess we're losing. I was on Awaken on turn 4. That kind of game, super great. And then the final round was against Daniel Cisneros, super nice guy who was playing the Mirror, the Gohan's Mirror. And that was a pretty good match.
So let's get into the profile.
Yeah.
So we are here.
I'm not going to explain any of the cards because at this point I imagine that many people know what they do. I also have a separate deck profile that I did from Nationals that goes into greater detail in what the deck does and how it functions. So instead I'm just going to kind of go over ratios real quick. The deck is largely unchanged, as in no new cards were added from my Nationals list. The only thing is that because now we have a weird mulligan rule where we can't choose which cards to mulligan, I trimmed the list down from 60 to 55 to help me get a more consistent turn 1 play, which worked more than 50% of the time. All right, so let's take a look at some of these. We have the 1-drop Goku and the 1-drop Vegeta. These guys let you combo from underneath the field and draw cards, so they're pseudo supers, but they're also my turn 1 plays. I want to see these guys in my opening hand so I can play them. Cantrip, and then combo them off to keep hand size. So 2 of each of those. Then we do the 4 Bulma. Some people look at me like I'm crazy. I think deck thinning is deck winning. My last game of the day, I had 2 cards left in deck when I killed him. I saw everything, and I needed everything to get there in that mirror match. Then the pieces themselves, the 4 -5Ks, the 4 criticals, and the 4 double strikes. One thing I hate about this deck is the engine is massive. It's the whole deck, which makes building the deck pretty difficult to do, but you do need the consistency. This is how I lost that U7 match, round 5. I didn't see anything to put under the field for the first 4 turns of the game. Like it was, that's a lie. I saw 1 crit, 1 crit. Everything else was not tuckable under the field. Then we go to the 4 of the Uncommon Gohan. This is the one that -20 draw a card for 1, and then 4 of the SR. These cards are just really good. They make unisons really inept in this format, which is good because we're entering a unison format again, and they just provide pressure. The 1-drop Trunks work with them. Of course, the big bad boss monster, 4 Trunks. You honestly really need 3 in the deck, but 4 is good, so you can charge 1 early, and you can also tuck them under the field. Let's take a look. 4 Explosive Dance. What a surprise. It's an okay card. It's really good in some colors and really bad into some colors. For example, it's terrible in the black. Find better counterattacks, or just dodge black like I did all day. 4 super combos, nothing to it. Let's get into the 2-ups here. So we got the 2 Broly's, which at Nationals, this card was great. In this tournament, I cited it out every single game. There was not a time that I wanted to play it. I feel like this card's time has passed, and it may be time to hang it up. 2 Videls to accompany our 2 babies. 2-2 split with one of these in the sideboard to make it 3 for consistency. This is really great into the U7 matchup to help you just kind of stay alive. Also good into the Tapion matchup. So really rock solid team of cards here. Also, I guess to go with these, 2 Gohans. Purunga is really prevalent in this format, as well as a couple of others. These 2 in conjunction will kill an SCR in play as long as it doesn't have barrier. And they also just kind of handle boss monsters like the 30k Unending Swing, Multiple Awakenings Goku for the U7 deck. So these cards in conjunction are really good. It's a small package, but it's definitely worthwhile. My favorite, I love a good Death Ball. Death Ball's fantastic. I would add a 3rd if I could. I want 3. Speaking of 3, there's 2 here and 1 in the sideboard. So Testing the Opposition is a fantastic card. Yeah, blockers don't always stick around in this format, but there have been worse formats for blockers, and this is not one of them. So this card's definitely great, especially if you can get to 5 and then slam baby down, and you can just wall up behind a testing or 2. If you can make a baby stick on curve, you're probably going to win the game. It's going to generate too much value for you. Sometimes your opponent can just answer it. The one of Quoits in the main board, the one of Secret ID, and the one of Vegito. I did side Quoits out a lot this day. Again, I often just I don't want to spend the energy for Quotsukai. I'd rather than just play the card and get rid of it. But there are times where this is a really good card to play. Incredibly underwhelming. I probably should cut the 2nd Overwhelm. I just stick with the Vegito. I also did run into issues earlier. This is just largely underwhelming. Might just cut it for deck space. Let's look at the sideboard here. So the consistency pieces, we got the baby, we got the Koitsukai, and we got the Testing the Op. These are the these are the one-ofs that are duplicates. They're already in the deck, just to have more consistency there. One of counter. I do win games this way. It is really fantastic. My favorite thing to do is to play this into blue and then just follow up and jump them. It's really great. The smokes. This deck lacks barrier removal. Need these for the Vegito X. Need these for the Senshen runs in U7. Otherwise your Trunks can never stick. So got to play the smokes on the side. Also for the U7 match or the Imposing Presence. Probably for aggro in general. For the mirror, the 2 Trunks barriers, really great for the mirror. Also good against blue decks because they have battle shenanigans. Yeah, also good for blue decks are the 2 shoes. Good for peel off Shumai. I love to just turn 1, swing, they peel off Shumai, and you just shoot the peel off Shumai. And you're like, haha! And then they go, oh crap, and then you get your combo, which is huge, right? And then the final 2, my favorite card, my favorite tech, is Go Tanks Unison to Rage. Still shocked to find that people are not playing this as much as they should be, considering that I featured this in Nationals and it won me several games. The -2 picks a multicolor battle card that does not check cost. I ripped Purungas out of U7 players' hands today. It was beautiful to look at they read the card and they go, oh, okay, multicolor card, 10k or less. And I go, no, read it again. And then they go, oh, and I go, I'll take your SCR out of your hand, right? It was great against Android 21 and it's great again. So the side deck is fantastic. Everything in here went in today. Every single card was utilized, which is always nice when you play a side deck. And it's just good to have 15 cards that are actually being used. Let's take a look at the Z deck real fast. I'll just show you the cards that were in the Z deck before. This is the same Z deck. What a surprise. Oh my gosh. And we'll put the extra card here. This was the Z deck from Nationals. And the additions today, since we have the space, we could play the time machine. I almost did it, and I think if I had on the turn that I did, I would have lost instead of won. So, not that great a card. And then 2 Unisons, never saw play, never had a reason to play them. Honestly, this was the only card I played all day from my Z deck. And then this would have been next, and then the rest of it, right? So the Z deck is largely unused because you're utilizing your Z energy to function for your other skills, your Gohan skills and your Trunks skills. So all in all, it was a pretty good day. The losses that I had were unfortunate. One of them was just like one of those, like, how did I lose? But it was a really good game. The other one was just bad RNG. It was just a bad hand. I'm not saying I would have won it against the U7, but it would have been a lot closer. But it wasn't even close. And that was super frustrating to have those 2 back-to-back. But we recovered in the final round, went X2. I think I finished 11th place, so not too bad. But yeah, that's the list. Not much has changed. I did cut the 2 Deborahs from my Nats list. It was 2 Deborahs, 2 Videl counterattacks, and the Pilaf, the anti-blue Pilaf. I cut those 5 from the list total to trim the list down to 55 to make it a little bit more consistent since the mulligan rule has changed and has affected this deck in that way. I also went first every single game. I won every die roll, which I don't know if is good or bad. I really wanted to turn 3 like awaken with baby and then have an energy up, or even do it on turn 2, but I never had the opportunity to go second. So I mean, I guess it's good, but I don't know what that means because we haven't done that testing with the market.
Right.
That's the list.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Any shout outs before we close it out?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to you, man, you're filming this, you're doing all this great work.
Thanks,
to my teammates and to Mike for finishing second wherever Legends went. He's around here somewhere. And just to my teammates at Checkmate Fusion, just kind of talking through some things and figuring out like what works and what doesn't. And we've been kind of testing some stuff in the background that you're going to start to see coming out here pretty soon. So take a look for Legends profile as well. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.